Hello everybody, welcome back to BnB Anime. I am Blue, that is Brad. Today we are going to be discussing the final season of Kaguya-Sama Love is War.
No, this is just ultra romantic. This
Really?
is not the final season. The fourth season has already been confirmed.
Oh, but it ended on such a final season note.
I mean, it really did feel like it, but then as soon as the episode dropped, it was like, oh hey, so guess what? We've got more.
Okay, well, I'm interested to see where they go from here, because the way that it ended was very much wrapped up with a nice little bow. Like, you know, I don't want to say any more than that because it'll spoil, but like it, you know.
I mean, I will say, like, although I'm like, okay, we had this is great and all, but then I was like, you know, I've waited 3.5 years and 3 fucking seasons for this. The fuck?
Yeah.
But oh my god, I had a great time with it. It was great. It was fun. How was your week?
Stressful, but good. Oh, it was a good week.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not quite used to the levels of humidity out here, so I feel like I've just been on slow mode. You know, because like, yeah, I mean, like I'm like, oh, it's only 20 degrees today. I don't know what that is in American units, but 20 degrees. Not hot, but like summer hot, you know, like a nice temperature. Maybe you need like a light jacket if it's breezy, you know, but like a decent, like a good human living temperature. And then you go outside and it may be 20 degrees, sure, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like 30. It's horrible.
So 20 degrees Celsius is 68 in freedom units.
Okay.
Which is cool. I would gladly accept 68 compared to the shit that I'm dealing with. Did I tell you what I'm dealing with?
No.
So I'm house sitting for my aunt and her AC is broken.
Oh.
So inside this house, it is 84 degrees.
Ugh.
Which to put into non-freedom units, you've got, let's see here, that's almost 29 degrees.
Yeah. That's sucky.
So yeah, not fun.
No.
Not fun at all. I'm dying. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad to be home so I can record this and get it edited really quick. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I still have to go back and look after doggos and cat and newborn kittens.
Well, at least it's cute.
I mean, yeah, the adorable fluff still doesn't make up for the fact that I'm fucking dying while I'm there, but it's fine.
No. Yeah, I guess it's just I'm not used to like country hot is very different than city hot, you know?
Yeah, city's typically more humid.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm also right next to one of the Great Lakes, so...
That definitely doesn't help.
No.
Enjoy your humidity, mate. I'm sure your hair loves it.
The curls have been curling, that's for sure.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I started a summer job this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So doing that over the break whilst I'm not in school. And then I went out, had a picnic, and went to a park, which was fun. I like parks. Trying to find some
fancy
semblance of greenery in amongst all of the skyscrapers.
You ought to just get a pet cactus for your apartment.
Yeah. Although I get so little sun, the window that I have in my apartment is facing another building. There's like an alleyway and then a building. It's very city.
Oh.
And so I don't get a lot of direct sunlight. So most things that I've tried to grow here have not been very happy.
Never mind, no prickles.
Yeah, I have to get something that's like loves low light, and then I can do that.
I see. I don't know anything about plants, so I can make no suggestions whatsoever. Oh well.
Well, what about you? Other than cat, dog, kitten sitting, what have you been up to?
That's been about it. We also had VBS this week, so I am tired. Screaming kids all week long.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm just glad that week's over with. I think I would rather deal with the hot than the screaming kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still have to deal with the hot for the next week, so it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's America Day soon, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, whenever this episode goes out, and also tomorrow of the day that we're recording this, because of course we're recording this on a Sunday. What is a recording schedule?
Yeah, we had Canada Day on the 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both get our freedom days, like, very similarly close together.
Yeah. I actually did not participate in Canada Day, like, at all. Canada Day's been kind of weird for the past couple of years anyway, because we've had a lot of, like, just horrific information coming out about the Indigenous population and what Canada had done to, like, just be awful. I don't really want to, get too much into it because it's a very, like, well, depressing subject, and this is a podcast about anime. So, you know. But yeah, if you're interested, definitely do your own research. But yeah, so for the past, like, last Canada Day especially, everyone was like, we're just not celebrating, like, it doesn't feel right to. And then this Canada Day, more information has come out since, and everyone's like, well, we also, like, we don't really feel like celebrating anymore as well, but also, like, COVID's over, and like Pride here in Toronto, which was last weekend, was the first time that anyone had, like, gone out to celebrate since COVID, like, been, like, outside celebrating. Because obviously in Canada, like, over Christmas, when technically things were lifting and, like, it was more okay, it's still freezing here. Nobody goes outside, you know? So, yeah, and New Year's and everything, like, so over summer is when we do all of our celebrations. And Pride isn't like a holiday, it's like a celebration for a specific group of people, right? So Canada Day is kind of like the first time for everyone to, like, for everyone to just jump in and celebrate and do what they want. And so it's like, people were like, I don't know if I should celebrate or not. But I was working on Canada Day, so I didn't celebrate. But I did come home, and then I was hearing the fireworks going off in my apartment, and I was like, oh, this is really nice ASMR. And then it started raining, and it was like the most relaxing thing ever. Distant fireworks, and then raindrops on my window. I was like, I'm good here. This is great.
That's great. That works.
Yeah. So what about you? You got plans for America Day?
Not really, because I can't leave the dogs out whenever people are shooting fireworks, because the last time that happened, Nora decided to run away and I had to search for her for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I've learned my lesson on that. I'm going to do a cookout for lunch for the family that's here. And then the girlfriend has requested that I make my smoked mac and cheese and take that to her for potluck for lunch. So I'm debating on it. I had to smoke burgers for a get together for friends yesterday. So I'm like, this is too much.
Too much.
It's too much heat.
Well, you just gotta be worse in the kitchen, and then people wouldn't request it.
I can't do that, though. The Yukihiro Soma in me is like, I must be the best.
Everything's a shokugeki.
Literally everything. And it's always a shokugeki against myself. Like, everything I make has to be better than last time. And I'm still achieving that goal. Like, I was told the burgers I made yesterday are the best that I've made to date. So I'm like, ooh, I gotta do better next time. So who knows? Who knows if I'll be able to continue one-upping myself or not.
I'm sure you will.
You know what did one-up something, though?
What?
Kaguya-Sama. In fact, it had the biggest one-up in recent anime history. Do you know why?
I do, because you said last week?
Oh, did I talk about it last week?
I don't know if you spoke about it last week or if you texted me.
Okay, I don't remember either. However, so Kaguya-Sama has officially unseated Full Metal Alchemist for the #1 rated anime on my anime list.
Yeah.
So it is officially ahead by, whenever I checked yesterday, by 0.03 points. But let me just double check my work here really quick and see if it is still there, because, you know, I do the things. It is. So Full Metal Alchemist is at a 9.13, and sorry to, cut into your background early, but Kaguya-Sama is at a 9.16.
Yes.
So it has eclipsed Full Metal Alchemist. It's the first thing to have done it, and I can't say whether or not it deserves it because it's two very different genres and two very different anime. However, just to see that, I'm pleased with it.
Yeah, I am pleased with it as well. I just think that this show has created such a level of community, and you can absolutely see that in the comments. of just people. I mean, I would be very interested to have seen how Full Metal Alchemist would have created a community if it had come out now, with, like, the comment sections on Crunchyroll and stuff like that, of people being able to, like, chat with their friends every week in the comments, you know, seeing other people's usernames and recognizing them when you watch the show week to week.
Mm.
And I think that Kaguya-Sama has developed a really, really strong community. And because of the way that the storyline progressed in this latest season, a lot of things were community achievements, I guess. They were like, yay, things are happening in the way that, like, we have been like, cool, you know? I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't know.
Nah, it'll be fine.
No, okay. Basically, the storyline progresses. I think anybody can tell that by the time you get to a third season, right? The storyline has to progress.
Well, the storyline has been progressing the entire time anyway. It's just, I feel like the main storyline kind of took a backseat during the second season.
I agree.
However, they continued to build on everything this season, and even subplots they really built upon this season. We had a couple twists, which we'll get to, but overall, like, they've continued to build, and just seeing the anime community rally around this show and push it to the heights that it's reached, like, it's been an absolute joy to see.
Yeah, and I also think that this show is very appealing to a very large audience, whereas I feel like Full Metal is very appealing to a larger audience, but not as large as this. I feel like Kaguya-Sama it hits a lot of boxes for a lot of different people. It's very comedic, it's very playful, it's stereotypically anime in a lot of ways. Like, it's not foreign for people who love anime to watch, but it's also got a very, like, welcoming presence to people that maybe have watched, like, K-dramas or, you know, other genres in sort of, I don't know, like, people that are kind of exploring TV and film and all that kind of stuff. I feel like Kaguya-Sama is very palatable to a lot of people, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And the way that it's structured is a lot like K-dramas, and K-dramas have been huge recently, so I feel like it's bringing in a whole new audience as well.
Yeah, and I can 100% see that, and I can also see it from the perspective of the biggest difference between this and Full Metal is I can truly consider them both entry-level animes. It's just for two very different types of people. Like, for people that are into comedy and romance and then therefore subsequently rom-coms. Mm-hmm. And even people that just want pure comedy, just straight up, then I think Kaguya-Sama can fit that niche very well. Whereas Full Metal, if you like science or alchemy or action or anything along those lines, then that's it too. It's just, I feel like Full Metal is a lot heavier. Mm-hmm. So it depends on more or less what you're looking for out of what you're watching.
Yeah, and I also feel like Kaguya could quite easily be somebody's guilty pleasure when they first start watching it. And then because of how accepting the community has been and how, like, just open everyone's been to watching it and how well received it's been, I feel like that guilty pleasure has turned from a guilty pleasure into just, like, it's a fun time, you know?
I mean, Kaguya is without a doubt like one of my guilty pleasure animes. Like, if I ever just want to shut my brain off and watch something just to have background noise and just be able to shut down, that's it. Because I'm always going to laugh to it. Like, there's always something that's going to catch my eye. And plus, the OPs and EDs are always fucking bangers. This season being no exception. The ED was probably a bigger banger than the OP, in my opinion.
I agree with that, actually.
But Masayuki Suzuki cannot do anything wrong. Homie is, without a doubt, like the most handsome old man I have ever seen in my entire life, and his voice is just so soothing to listen to. God, can you tell that I'm excited to talk about this week? Like, I could literally not shut up about it ever since I watched the final 2 episodes, although I'm disappointed that Crunchyroll didn't leave it as 1 episode. They split it up into 2 for some reason whenever it was televised as 1 long episode. But it's fine. We out here, we gaming, I suppose.
But yeah, so let's do some background.
I have information somewhere. Don't judge me. I had it pulled up until we decided to get off on the tangent of whatever the fuck I was saying. Yes, that was it. That was literally it. Okay, so same studio, same director, same all that fun stuff. It has a total of 13 episodes, or if you watched it televised, it's 12. Don't sue me. And then its original run was from April 9th through June 25th of 2022.
Yeah, and it is rated a PG-13, which I believe both of the previous seasons were also PG-13, so that's consistent. And I can see why, because there is some, like, sexual innuendo humor throughout, but that's the only thing that I would say is I mean, there was some swearing, I guess, but
it was mainly bleeped.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, just hearing motherfucker dropped multiple times in the same episode.
Yeah.
The first time, I think whenever I first watched that episode, I immediately messaged you because I was crying.
Right?
I could not contain my laughter. That was the greatest thing I think I've ever seen in an anime.
Yeah. So swearing and some sexual innuendos, but yeah, there's no gore, there's no blood, there's no violence or anything like that.
And it held true to the whole American thing if you're allowed to drop one F-bomb per film or per episode to stay within a PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
So it held that to a T. So great job,
Yeah.
Kaguya-Sama.
So yeah, like Brad said, it is rated a 9.16 out of 10 on My Anime List. My Anime Planet is actually just under that at a 9.10 out of 10.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's scoring exceptionally high.
Yeah, very, very, very high. And its drop rate is a 1.62%, but that probably will fluctuate just a tad, considering that the last episode has only dropped pretty recently. So yeah, again, that'll be one to watch for at the end of the year when I refresh all my drop rates. Speaking of which, last week we covered Spy Family, and because we covered the last episode on the day that it dropped, the drop rate was super high, purely because people hadn't said that they'd watched it yet because they hadn't seen the final episode and updated their accounts. So I said that this week I would go back and redo the drop rate so we can get a legit score of what it actually is sitting at the time of the last episode being out for a full week. So last week the drop rate was 24.15%. This week it is 1.41%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Spy Family actually has currently a better drop rate than Kaguya-Sama Season 3, but again, those may fluctuate a little bit, and we'll find out about that towards the end of the year.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That all the background?
That is all of the background.
All right, spoiler chicken hats on, because this is literally a continuation. I feel like if you're listening to this, you've either seen the first two seasons of Kaguya-Sama and are trying to determine the third season, or you're just listening to this to listen to it. Therefore, no background. It's a rom-com. Go watch it. Seriously, go watch it. If you don't watch it, then we're gonna sick Ishigami on you. And Chika. We'll sick both.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
So this season follows the same kind of setup as the previous seasons, same structure of having small skits, but there is a general linear plotline, but a lot of the skits could be in a different order and it wouldn't really make much difference. There are small plot lines and small storylines going through, but a lot of the time there's just like a lot of shenanigans also going on.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like the main storyline is kind of the biggest thing, but all the side skits, they don't really matter. Even the team plays with their own pacing on it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us actually know what the true pacing of the plot line is, but we figure we'll talk about the main plot line and then we'll just talk about whatever we thought was funniest and then go from there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, you take it away.
Okay, so main plot line that we have been building to through this entire time. So you've got President Shirogane and then the Vice President Kaguya, who are both in love with each other, but either one refuses. And our main biggest plot point of this whole thing is Kaguya, for the first time out loud to Hayasaka, admits that she is actually in love with the president, and it's like everybody's world shattered at that point, because like, she done said it out loud. Oh God, what are we going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
And so with that, we also have our first wrench thrown in the plans of, we find out that Shirogane is going to be going to Stanford in America. So this is going to be his last year at the academy. So he's not going to finish out his third final senior year. Instead, homie's going away. So it puts like a real finite timeline on, will we actually get the confession this season or not before homie is gone and never comes back.
Yeah.
Or comes back at a later date. Anyway, but also we get the school festival arc, which is where a lot of the shenanigans throughout this are going to take place. And that is where we have a lot of plot furthered along, not just with our two main characters, but also the rest of our side cast as well.
Yes. Yeah, there's actually a lot of huge movement that happens throughout the festival for, like, pretty much every single character in the show.
Yeah, you've got Ino, who doesn't have a lot of, like, fuck off outside. I realize it's daytime, but calm down. Anyway, you've got Ino, who kind of has a lot of personal growth, but no relationship growth. Mm-hmm. You've got Hayasaka, who decides to truly pursue the president just for shits and giggles until he decides to destroy her ears. Mm-hmm. Just to try to piss Kaguya off. Mm-hmm. And then you've got our boy Ishigami pursuing his dreams of trying to outkick his coverage in every way, shape, form, or fashion, and going after the, quote, Madonna of the third years.
Yeah.
And he's just Ishigami's best boy.
Ishigami is my favorite character of this show, just flat out.
Oh, just without a doubt. Yeah. Like, dude is wholesome. He always means well, regardless of whether or not he goes about it in the right way.
Yeah.
But just solid character, and definitely this season, just best boy.
100% best boy. Since his introduction, I would just put him flat out best boy.
I could see that. We need to update the spreadsheet with that at some point, because totally deserves it.
I will put it in right now, actually, while we're talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Chika is, well, Chika.
Yeah, Chika's great.
Chika's the bane of everybody's existence in the most comedic of ways, and God, this season was great. So, school festival arc, the president decides to pull a persona and steal all the heart balloons of a festival and create a game where he is a hidden masked person, and he sets up a game to allure everybody away from his actual overall plan. Mm-hmm. Then Kaguya has her back and forth with internal struggles of whether or not she actually wants to confess or wants to make the president confess, because, you know, that's been the running theme of the entire show.
Yeah.
And then president devises a plan to keep Chika, and that plan was devised solely for Chika, which absolutely tickles me to no end, because almost the whole school got involved.
Yes. Yeah.
It was designed solely for Chika.
Yes, but Chika has been our biggest cockblock. I think that we can honestly add that as a thing of our anime awards and just slot her right in immediately to already win. Because, yeah, I feel like she's been the biggest cockblock just in general of any anime that we've watched so far this year.
Oh, without a doubt. I think probably our biggest cockblock in any anime we've watched ever.
Yeah, fair.
Like, I'm going through my list of characters from, like, as far as anime goes, and I don't think I've ever seen a bigger cockblock.
Yeah.
Like, whether it be rom-com, anything. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, fair.
So, yeah, final day of the festival rolls around. You have Kaguya searching for the president after they have a, what's it called? Fair date? Cultural festival date?
Yeah.
Whatever kind of date it is.
Something like that.
Like, they go, they eat together, they have their fortunes read together. Did they do Ishigami's haunted house? I don't think they did.
The president? No.
No. Okay.
But by then it was split up between girls and boys anyway, so.
Yeah, Ino had everything to do with that one. Mm-hmm. And then, so finally, the two get split up. Kaguya's looking for the president because she's like, fuck it, I gotta, like, confess to him today, no matter what. President's waiting at the top of the bell tower so he can overlook everything. And also wait, because he has set the game up entirely for Kaguya to find him in the bell tower where only she would know where to find him. So he can confess his love to her. She makes it to the top. They confront each other. President hits a button to make a big-ass balloon go over the fire and pop, and then heart balloons everywhere.
Yeah, and this was kind of the first time where we actually got to hear Shirogane speak about why he can't confess to Kaguya. Like, because we've already kind of known, you know, it's a pride thing, like, there's a reason why, like, you know, he doesn't want to get embarrassed. He's probably on the same level as me of how easily we get embarrassed, like, yeah. He's absolutely a skipper when he watches shows. He will skip things that are embarrassing. I guarantee it.
Question.
What?
Did you skip during the first episode whenever Eno's headphones were unplugged?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I got to the point where he was plugging in, Ishigami was plugging in his headphones, and then he pulled it out a little bit, and then I was like, no.
Why? That was so good.
I just, I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and I struggled through all of the, like, male whispering in her ears. I was like, I can't do this. And then I saw that he was gonna cover her, and I was like, no, too much. And I knew that they were both gonna be revealed at the end, because he could have just said, hey, when you paused it, your headphones got unplugged a little bit. Make sure to push it back in before you listen. Like, if he had just said that, it would have been fine. But not. Okay, anyways.
But also, I get that, though, because if I was constantly being berated, like, I don't think that I would actually want to be like, hey, so listen, just to get told to shut up. Like, so I get his standpoint. I do.
I know. But still, yes, couldn't handle it. Anyway, but this was the first time that we actually got to hear Shirogane speak about, like, properly dissect why he doesn't want to confess first. And it was because of the fact that he doesn't see himself on equal standings with her because she's, well-bred and has all this backing, and he considers himself to just be some, like, pleb who got lucky entering the school kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want to confess to her because if he confesses to her, he will never see himself, like, and she accepts, he'll never see himself as, like, having, like, earned.
Having been her equal.
Yeah, being her equal and, like, having earned her affection or whatever. Like, I feel like he would always feel like she's pitying him by being together, And so, he wants to get her to confess. So even up until this point, with the balloons being released and everything that he has done for her, he's still trying to get her to be the one to confess first. To, like, say
And how does she confess, per se?
She goes a little kiss.
Even though we don't get to see the kiss because she hides it behind a damn balloon.
Right.
You know what? Slot Kaguya in as the second cock block.
Honestly. The balloon.
The balloon is the true cock block. Oh my god. So yeah, we finally get the confession and the kiss that we have been looking for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And 3.5 years. And my god, my heart was full.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a cute moment. And if you did not watch after the credits, go back and watch it now. I'm going to put a second spoiler warning in because I don't know if people closed it out beforehand, but go watch after the ending scene, the ED, because there is an extra scene. Okay, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Very quick seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. They held hands as well under the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cute.
It was so cute. Because he was like, I don't know how it's going to be when I go back to school tomorrow. Like, what's the next day going to be like? We didn't actually verbalize anything. And he's like freaking out to himself. And then you get to see a shot of them and they're just acting like normal, but then it pans down and under the desk they're holding hands and it's so cute.
It is so cute. It was great. It was brilliant. I loved it. Also, after the kissing bit, we get to see Kaguya and Hayasaka talking about it. I was crying. It was great. It was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Hayasaka, in general, throughout this entire season, was gold.
Yep. Yeah.
Because she was playing the perfect foil that Kaguya kind of needed to propel herself forward.
Mm-hmm.
And she played her part to a T.
Yes.
It was great. But also, I feel bad for her because Homie did just want to be a real teenage girl.
Yeah. But now my favorite storyline. I mean, I did like the Kaguya storyline a lot. But Ishigami, we have to get to him. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Oh, my God. I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Okay, so we'll skip a bunch. At the cultural festival. He's got a crush. I'm just going to call her Madonna because that's kind of how she is in my brain. He's had a crush on her for a little while, but this is the first time that it's kind of properly verbalized that he like really, really likes her. Cause like we met her, was it just last season that we met her? I don't think she was in the first season, was she?
It was either the end of the first season or early in the second season. It was during
the sports festival, right?
the sports festival where you or Ishigami got put on the like cheerleading squad, and Tsubame is like the cheerleading squad member and also like the leader of the rhythmic gymnastics team and also the head coordinator for the cultural festival because I mean, that's pretty much her. Like, she's head of all activity things.
Yes. Yeah. And so there's this legend around the school of where there had been like a man who had sacrificed his own heart to save his love, and that had happened on the school grounds. And so then there's this tradition that if you give a heart to the person that you like during the cultural festival, it will grant you good luck and happiness forever in your romantic endeavor with that person, right? And so 90% of the school population knows about this, 10% don't. And Ishigami is one of the 10%, obviously, because that's how plot lines work. And so he has been struggling with figuring out how to ask her out. He knows she's a third year, she's going to be leaving soon. He knows that he's on a limited time. He also has many other rivals that are around, 3 of them in particular, who wear different shapes of glasses, who just occasionally show up to glare at him from around and about.
And shoot the laser death beam.
Exactly. And so he finally, after some encouragement from Kaguya, although kind of like not really knowing how she's encouraging him, he decides to ask her to go to his class's event, and they're putting on a haunted house. However, previously on the trip to the haunted house, is it Maki and her boyfriend?
No, I think Maki is Tsundere senpai.
Right. Yeah, okay.
So it's Maki's friend. Basically, so I don't know, I can't remember if we talked about this in the first 2 episodes that we've done of this, but we have had 2 recurring characters. We have had the girlfriend whose name I cannot remember, but then the boyfriend whose name we have been told, but in every credit, in every time the name has showed up on screen, he is literally only known as Homegirl's boyfriend. It's like his name does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
And
so the
it's
nameless couple. I feel like that's very fitting.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so this nameless couple had gone through the haunted house previously, and it's like an auditory haunted house. They basically ran out of time halfway through making the haunted house, and so they decided to make like lockers, and then you put on sound-cancelling headphones and a blindfold, and then they would play music, like sounds through it to freak you out via the sounds, right? And unfortunately, when that couple was locked in a locker together for 5 minutes, they ended up playing 5 minutes in heaven, I guess. And after that, girls and boys were separated, and weren't allowed to go into lockers together. Which, I mean, happy pride. And so then, when Ishigami finally gets through with his Madonna, they are separated and he's feeling really dejected. So, she notices that he's feeling really dejected and invites him to go to her classrooms. Like, it's like a carnival games thing. They just have a bunch of different games you can win prizes. And he wins a game very easily and asks for a giant heart-shaped cookie that she had been commenting on only a few minutes beforehand. And he's just like, you liked that cookie. I won the game. I'm gonna get the cookie and then give it to you because you were just talking about how you liked the cookie. Because he doesn't know about the heart thing. And so then he's like, this is how I feel about you. Like, I feel like I want to give you a gift. Like, that's what he's like, you know, like, he does have romantic feelings for her, but he's not confessing at this moment. He's just like, I like hanging around you. Have a cookie, you know?
And homie also, for lack of better terms, doesn't have the balls to confess in like a big setting like that, and everybody knows it. So whenever the rumors started going around, Shirogane and Kaguya were like, no, there's no way you could have done that.
Exactly.
But homie did do it, whether he knew it or not.
Yeah, and she accepts the cookie, but she doesn't know, like, it's very sudden, feels very out of the blue for her, so she asks for some time. And then runs away, and he's like, okay, but like doesn't really know what's going on at the same time as well. Anyway, time passes, Kaguya gets involved a little bit, but, you know, things still work out in the end. And Madonna's like, I'm gonna take a bit more time, is it okay? So she takes him out to a private place, during the ending of the firework, of the festival where they're having a bonfire and everything. And she shows him this tree, and he confesses his feeling. Like, he shows her that he knows about flowers and stuff, and she's like, there's lots of things that I don't know about you. And she's like, I want to get to know you more. Do you mind if I take some time? And he's like, okay, you know, thinking about the flowers and everything. She's like, how long do you think how much time do you think I should take? And he's like, probably around till like March, because like that's when the blossoms bloom. And she's like, really, that long? And he's like, yeah, that's kind of when depending on the weather and stuff, that's about when it happened. And she's like, the weather has an impact on this? Okay. I don't know, I guess I wouldn't have been able to have waited that long, but I appreciate you giving me that much time. And he's like, sure, yeah. And she's like, I'll give you my answer then. And he's like, answer? I don't really get it. And anyway, then she has to run off because she has a performance that she has to do of the play, of the story. And so then he goes to watch her do this play, and that's when it kind of clicks to him a little bit, but he also does kind of brush it off in the end. But he confessed he didn't get a no. She's very interested in him from what I can tell. She's just more concerned about the fact that she's a year ahead of him. 2 years? 1 year?
2 years.
2 years ahead of him in school. And she's going to be going off to college, all of that kinds of stuff. And he's obviously still going to be in high school. So she's like, I don't know about that. But it wasn't a no. By any means, was it not a no?
Which is why I said at the very beginning, I was like, they have to do another season.
Yeah.
Because they can't, like, that to me was honestly like the bigger plot point of the season. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, the Shirogane Kaguya thing, like, that was the biggest plot point. Mm-hmm. But I was more worried about our homie actually getting the girl that he wanted, because we all know how anime goes. There is no way in hell that they're gonna not put Kaguya and Shirogane together.
Yeah.
So I was more worried about you.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're actually going to get the answer that we want next season, so I'm happy.
I hope so. And I actually do think that they would be very cute together. I think that, like, she's so outgoing, she's so boisterous, she's head of all of these activities, and he is outgoing when he's with his friends and stuff, and he's very protective, and he's just, like, a solid, like, staple of a person. He's one of those kinds of people that is very reliable, and although he might grumble and gripe at times, like, you can always turn to him if you need him, and I feel like they would be a very good match.
Oh yeah, 100%, mm-hmm. Because she would definitely bring out his best qualities, mm-hmm. and then he would obviously want to do anything that he could for her to kind of help and assist, and also with Ichigami being the way that he is, all of her insecurities about rhythmic gymnastic practice and college and all that other kind of stuff, like, he wouldn't care to wait for her. Mm-hmm. So it really is like a truly good match.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I actually feel like she is the reason why he ended up working so hard on his studies. Not just her, also Kaguya. Like, basically the idea of having someone that believes in him and thinks that he could do well helps him conquer his little brother syndrome. And I feel like, she would absolutely give him determination to do well. And then he would also give her the space to be able to be the career woman that she wants to be. Mm-hmm. Which is great.
Yeah, it's great. It's all brilliant. I've absolutely loved everything about the season, the animation, all of it was brilliant. Can we talk about the special ED on episode 5? Well, first of all, let's talk about the rap episode in general.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Because, my God, this was the most fever dream episode of an anime I think I've seen in a really long time, but it's also one of the funniest recurring jokes.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole series, because Miyuki went to a karaoke group date with Hayasaka. They went separately, but they were there together. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up leaving together and getting their own karaoke booth because Hayasaka really wanted to put one over on Kaguya, both because, one, Kaguya challenged her and she still hadn't forgotten, but two, she wanted to make Kaguya realize that she's actually being jealous and then therefore will actually confess her feelings, so she'd leave Hayasaka alone and actually do what she's supposed to do. And so they go in there, they sing, and then they get to a rap song, and Miyuki raps for Hayasaka and almost kills her.
Yes, yeah. She got a taste of what Chika normally gets dealt.
Yeah. So with Shirogane realizing this, but also, like, finally seeing, like, the first true side to Hayasaka that he has seen, he's like, okay, all right, I want to get better at this just so I can actually be real with her and let her know that she needs to be real. So he enlists the help of Chika to try to get, better because she's the one that helped him with singing, volleyball, the Sauron dance. So Chica's like, all right, well, I mean, he managed to do both of those things, so how badly could it be? He killed her too.
Yeah.
Pushed her to the point to where she shouted motherfucker twice.
Yes.
And I mean, shouted it.
Yep.
And this, for one, started the running joke of the F-bomb being dropped repeatedly throughout 2 episodes.
Yep.
During rap, but also it led to homie, properly, well, for one, he had to teach Chica how to rap because Chica thought she could get away with just saying yo-yo at the end of everything. For one, that's the most Chica thing that I think I've ever heard. But 2, it was nice to see him have to teach her. So after he finally teaches her, she's like, okay, I gotta go bye. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no. So she finally teaches him how to rap, which we don't see, but we can all imagine how that went. Because we already saw the training montage of him teaching her, so we didn't need another one. Mm-hmm. Then we actually get the rap, which for one, seeing Chica use the turntable, or use the park as a turntable, that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And just a lot of the overall animation, the shots that they chose to go with on it, the actual music and the rapping was good from what I could tell. Everything rhymed well. They placed the rhyming well, although if you pay attention to the words, it doesn't really work, but you got to take it at face value whenever it comes to not knowing another language.
Yeah.
But it was, God, it was good. And then the ED we got on the episode was spectacular. Mm-hmm. If you haven't, go watch the ED for My Nonfiction on YouTube. You can go find it because my God.
Yeah.
It was just spectacular. The ED itself, the main ED, was actually good. I like the story on it and everything that they told with it. They've always done well with the ED production, but the episode 5 one was just chef's kiss.
Yeah. The animation style is super interesting in comparison to the animation that is throughout, the normal episode. It was, I don't know, Chica's rap voice in the ED and the animation, it felt weird because, she looks so grown in the animation and then it's this high-pitched Chica voice. I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is giving me, this feels weird.
But still, the fact that they got Miyuki and Chica's voice actors to do that, though, and there's actually a fully produced song that you can get on Apple and Spotify and all that of it, as well. So you can listen to the full version of the song, and it's good. It's really fucking good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the rap episode just stole my heart.
Yeah. I feel like rap has been a theme for all of the shows that have been coming out recently.
I believe I said that. Whenever I was watching these week to week, I was like, well, I guess this week was rap week.
Yeah, because it was 3 different shows. Well, I mean, one of them is just a rap-based show, but... Yeah,
but still, the fact that all of that kind of fell into place at one time, I was like, dear God. Weird synchronicities this week.
Yeah. Okay, so there is one more subplot line that I wanted to talk about.
Uh-huh.
And that is Maki trying to break up her friend and her boyfriend, which I thought I was going to hate this plotline. Because when you're first introduced to this plotline, when you first get to know Maki, it seems like she's going to recruit Miyuki and Ishigami to get them to break up a couple that we've just spent the past 2 seasons getting together, right? Mm. That's kind of how it's dished out to you. And I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I don't like the idea of, somebody going in and trying to split up a relationship because they're jealous, especially with considering the fact that, they're supposedly best friends since elementary school and she's trying to steal her boyfriend. I was like, this makes me uncomfy. I don't think I'm gonna like this. But they managed to skirt around actually doing anything like that because, knowing the formula of the show, you think, okay, well, they're gonna get into a bunch of shenanigans of trying to break them up and then they're not gonna work and then she's gonna learn a lesson and all this kind of stuff. But I didn't like the idea of Ishigami and Miyuki helping her. But that doesn't actually happen at all. In any way. And I actually really liked how they managed to make it a plotline without her ever actually acting on anything. And just kind of using them as a way to vent her emotions and to get some sympathy, basically, from them. And, she kind of says, I'm going to do this to break them up, but she never actually follows through on it. And I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of her as a character. I think she's a little bit two-faced, but considering the fact that this is high school, you can't help the feelings that you have. And she, like, it is perfectly fine to vent to someone about your own emotions and stuff. I feel like she has a lot of redeeming qualities as a character, and they could have made her a lot more, like, icky as a person.
They could have, but the fact that they kind of turned it into a running joke, and again, the whole Tsundere Senpai nickname that stuck throughout the rest of the season, like, that was, I mean, it was gold. Mm-hmm. They could have done a lot more with it, and, like, actually went for the full breakup storyline, but... Mm-hmm. The fact that they just made it a joke, and that's just kind of how it went, it was great. I love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a very, very smart choice. And I like that at the end, in the bonfire scene, we got to see her and her friend having a bit of a bonding moment. So for a fourth season, I'm not sure if I'd want to see her, like, be open with her friend about her emotions. I feel like, I mean, it just will damage the friendship. Like, as much as you can say, you know, oh, I appreciate you coming to me, being honest and everything, like, I feel like it would just put distance between them. So it would be nice to see her maybe get over the crush, find someone else that she likes, or just, you know, decide that, like, I don't have a crush on him anymore at school, you know? Because as far as I'm aware, kind of in the show, you know, like, she doesn't really know him. She doesn't really hang around him, you know? So I would be totally cool with them taking a plot line of, like, she more had a crush on the idea of him rather than actually having a crush on him, you know?
You know, I could almost see them doing, like, a plot line of those two break up naturally over some dispute because it's a high school relationship. Shit like that happens. Mm-hmm. So they break up. Those two start hanging out together, Tsundere Senpai and the boyfriend, and she realizes, like, no, like, I actually hate this dude.
Yeah.
And so the two end up getting back together, and the girl out of the relationship was like, I thought you two were gonna date, and she was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody were to bring up Chika dating Miyuki or you, like, no, absolutely fucking not. No.
Ew. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a good plot line. I still think it's a little shady, but I think that her character is kind of shady anyways. So I don't necessarily mind that happening. And I also think that it does, I mean, it happens in adult relationships as well, but I feel like that kind of brings a level of juvenile emotions to a relationship dynamic, which is very fitting for the show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I like. So, Chika gets confessed to as well.
And she lets homie down by giving him a quiz.
Yeah.
And he was okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love that. I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like Chika should just be the staple single Pringle. I think that's fine.
I mean, honestly, the love detective should stay the single one.
Yeah.
Unless her and Ino want to get together, because I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, I would 100% get behind that. That is one ship I will stand behind.
Yeah, cute.
Also, can we talk about Miko's homie dating the Tsubame's best male homie and how it was just so casually brought up?
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, talk about opposites attract, but they're very cute. I like them.
Yeah, it's like just the way it was brought up and brought about and how it kind of set forth in motion of you asking out Tsubame. Like, I was 100% here for it. Like, that was brilliant.
Yeah, and I also actually really like how blatant they both seem to be and on the same page of, like, how they feel about the relationship. I thought actually they probably have the most mature relationship of anybody in the show, because she was just forthcoming with it. She was just like, oh yeah, he asked me out and, you know, I wanted somebody around for the cultural festival, and then Christmas is right after, so I wanted somebody to be there for, to celebrate that with as well. And then later on, you get to see him, be like, hey, you don't have to force yourself to hang around me if you don't want to. And she's like, nah, actually, you know, like, it's cool. And it seems like they have very decent communication and are both kind of on the same page of, like, this, we're aware that this kind of is just a relationship for now kind of thing. And, sometimes I feel like those kinds of relationships, like, I hear about them with friends sometimes, of, like, they'll get into a relationship, like, it's kind of just for a now thing, like, while I'm in college or while I'm doing this or whatever, I'm like, oh, I like them enough. And then they end up being together for, like, 10 years. and you're like, okay, geez, I thought it was just an hour.
Yeah, it really did seem like a true relationship.
Yeah.
And that it honestly sounds like a modern day relationship in a sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like people would get together, especially during the winter, because they don't want to be alone for the holidays. And people are like, oh, like, actually, I really like you. Like let's keep doing this.
Yeah, and I feel like that happened a lot over COVID as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because people just kind of found themselves with people more, and especially with online dating. And I know a lot of people that got relationships through like Twitch and meeting people on Discord and whatnot. And it just kind of, that loneliness brought people together and fostered like relationships that never would have happened without it. So it's very real.
Yeah, I feel like they have the most real and the most mature relationship out of anybody in the show.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I am here for it.
Yes, I'd like to see more of them in season 4 of just like just small things, you know, just having them in the background every now and again with like mild dates, or like, you know, you see him like bring her a coffee or vice versa, or like, you know, she's like at one of his games and it's just very like normal. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, or just even if you want to be even more subtle than that, like if Kaguya and Miyuki are on a date, you could have them like in another booth.
Yeah.
Like opposite, just be like, oh, hey, we know those people.
Yeah, 100%. Like, or just like, you know, in background shots of like campus shots when they're in the school grounds or whatever, and they're just like holding hands as they're walking by, and it's just like a 3-second shot, not even. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of where I want their relationship to go. Just to be like, yeah, a cute.
Honestly, I want like very, very slight PDA.
Yeah.
Like holding hands or something, and Ino has to be the one that breaks them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm here for that. Give me that.
Oh, it would be really cute if, like, for some reason, like, her glasses get knocked off or whatever, and he picks them up and hands them to her. Like, just things like that.
Or, like, he puts them on first.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, give me that. Also, like, I really hope with season 4, we actually get the Christmas arc. We get the New Year's arc.
Yeah.
Like, I want all of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? Fuck it. While I'm staying at my aunt's with nothing to do, I'm going to read the manga.
Yeah?
I've already seen Trapped in a Dating Sim for next week, so fuck it. Why do I need to rewatch it? Just kidding. I'm going to end up rewatching it anyway, but I'm going to binge read the manga.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
ADHD has been against me the past little bit.
Yeah.
In fact, it's been so bad to where I can't do anything. Like, I don't want to do anything. It's like, I borrowed Walker's PS5 to take over to my aunt's, and I just, like, I'll turn it on and just stare at the screen. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't actually bring myself to do anything because brain's like, you want to do it? No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been experiencing a lot of just paralysis as well. Just like, I've been sitting on the couch for 20 minutes not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just me still trying to decompress from the week because it's been just so damn busy. And I know tomorrow's going to be so damn busy. So it's like, I just want to chill.
Yeah, and it's so hot and gross as well.
Don't remind me.
Sorry.
As soon as we get done with this, I'm going back to the heat.
You know how I have hot water bottles in the winter? I should send you some, and then you can fill them with ice water, and then you could just cuddle a thing of ice water.
I mean, I really could. Like, no joke. It hasn't crossed my mind to, like, get an ice pack and shove it up the back of my shirt.
Yeah.
Because that would, oh God, that sounds good.
Right?
I've been taking cold showers before I go to bed. Like, I'll take my normal shower and then leave it on cold for like 10 minutes before I go lay down because I'm like, this is going to suck.
Yeah. Honestly, though, you should probably, I mean, I doubt that they'd have them in drugstores where you are, but Amazon Prime them, just like a couple of hot water bottles, fill them with cold water, because they have the fabric coating, right? So they take off the edge, so it's not too hot so it won't burn you, but it's still really hot and toasty, so do the same with ice. It'd just take the edge off, but still make it cold and refreshing.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah. Do the thing. I
do the thing. All right, so what do you rate it?
Oh, hard. Why do I always have to go first? You go first this week.
Because we know what I'm giving it. What are you giving it? And also, I asked first, peasant.
Why do I always act like this is a surprise? Like, I should have an idea of what I'm going to rate it before I come into this.
I mean, it also doesn't help that I put you on the spot. I didn't go through our normal, like, that everything before we get into it. Nah, I just threw it on you.
Yeah.
You want me to take a stab at it and maybe it'll help?
Yeah.
9. Because you have a habit of like sticking close to like what the actual rating is.
I do. I'm normally just a tad under, and a 9. I was debating between an 8.5 and a 9. So yeah, you hit right on the head. Small things. It's just small things. Also, everybody knows I hate cringe. This show is made up of cringe. That's a huge personal thing. I know it's a personal thing, but our ratings are not on how good a show it is. It's how much we like it. So
why you hate everything I love?
Because I can't handle the cringe.
But it's hilarious. Remember how we talk about watching anime and like shutting our brains off and just having a good time?
Yeah, but it makes my teeth hurt.
Oh no, like I am a big proprietor of feeling secondhand embarrassment. But just because of the shit that happened, I'm like, this is great. I'm all here for it.
No, I don't like it. Ishigami raises it up the extra half a point though, so I'll stick with the 9. Yeah, just because.
Oh, so 9.5.
No,
got it,
9. What are you at?
10.
Thought so. That's 2 10s in a row.
I mean, hey, I'm the one that made the schedule. I know what I'm going to be going into everything. In fact, I can already pretty much tell you what next week is going to be. I mean, watching it back a second time, I may actually drop it. I'm not 100% certain. So, Trapped in a Dating Sim is a very interesting take on the isekai genre. Because it's very self-aware of how much of a, like, I'm trying to think of the proper term for it. Like, it's very self-aware that it's an isekai. And it's very self-aware of the tropes that it's, like, putting the character through, and it's great. So, I don't know. I may drop it, but I have a number in my brain, so we'll see if I'm still there come next week. But I think as far as, like, it was the biggest dark horse for the season for me. Because I was watching it week to week, and I was like, this is probably going to be another trash isekai. I'm probably going to give it, like, a 6 or 6.5. And by the time I was done with it for the first watch through, I think I was at like an 8.5.
Oh. If
I remember correctly, like it jumped that much because we know me. Like I'm a big fan of like subverting expectations and how well it subverted those expectations. I'm all here for it. But also I have some issues with some characters that we'll get into next week. However, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun time, and I'm excited for the other shows we have going forward.
Yes.
As well, especially Shikimori. I'm so fucking excited for Shikimori.
Yeah, cool.
All right, that everything?
That's everything.
All right, so thank you all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it. We have things for you to go check out, like www.BnB Anime or youtube.com/BnB Anime. We have socials for us at BnB Anime. I'm at Brad Carter Gaming. Blue is at Blue Lavender on the Etsy, or it's Blue Lavender Shop for Etsy, right?
Blue Lavender Crafts on Etsy. Because I'm crafty. Okay. And you got your bookmark.
I did. I love it. I love it so much.
Good.
And in fact, so the reading challenge that I was telling you about with the girlfriend, it actually matches the book cover that she gave me. Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, okay, these colors, like this actually matches very well.
No way, that's cool.
Also, I may or may not have talked girlfriend into commissioning you for a bookmark, so that probably will be coming through very soon as well. Because she saw mine and she got jealous. So I was like, hey, so listen, if you want one, here's the link. Just go commission her for one. It's not that hard.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah, Blue Lavender Crafts on the Etsy or Blue Lavender on the TikTok or Blue Lavender STM on the Instagram and the Twitter.
Yes. Yeah. And that's it. That's everything.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it. Next week, Trapped in a Dating Sim. There's an even longer title to it, but fuck it. I'm too lazy to remember it. And until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.